guys, how's it going? It is Eve, and just recently CCP has released their latest devlog in regards to structures. Large overhauls will be made in about 3 key parts, which I will talk about later in the video. Upwell 2.0 is to launch on Tranquility on February 13th, and they are currently being tested live on Singularity right now, so if you want to go and have a look, you are more than welcome to jump in and start testing. I won't be covering moon mining or wormhole space moon mining, same for HiSec. That is a topic for a different video, and we'll just leave it at that. Moon mining and HiSec and wormhole space will be released on February 13th, so get your citadels ready. Full power and low power modes. Upwell 2.0 brings 2 new types of modes for all citadels, a full power mode and a low power mode. Starting off with full power mode is when a structure receives full strength defenses. In order to be in full power mode, you must have some type of service module online and installed. Do note that structure defenses are capped, meaning more than one module will not increase your defense bonuses. Low power mode, you have no service module installed and or it is not online. The structure will receive significantly reduced defenses until a service module is installed and online. To further continue into low power mode, a structure running in low power mode will have significantly reduced shield and armor resistances, one less reinforcement timer, jumping straight to the final reinforcement timer and skipping the armor timer entirely. Structures in a low power mode will have a low power mode tag next to the structure's name, like you see on screen now. New vulnerability and reinforcement system. The reinforcement and vulnerability system is also going through a major overhaul in Upwell 2.0. The new system will consist of 3 phases: an initial attack that can occur at any date and any time chosen by the attackers, a second attack that occurs in a time zone of the defenders on the day chosen by the attackers, and a final battle that occurs in the time zone and the day chosen by the defenders to allow them to have a final stand. Under the new system, owners will choose an hour of day and a day of the week as their structure's reinforcement time and reinforcement day respectively. Any change to the reinforcement day will take 7 days to take effect. Should the structure be damaged or is damaged when the 7 days have elapsed, the change will not take effect until the structure is in full health once again. A neat feature to the system means that the reinforcement timer and day is not secret. Attackers can use relic or data analyzer modules to find out the timers. Once one of the modules has been activated, it will open a hacking window similar to one that you see currently when you're out exploring sites. The difficulty of the hacking challenge will scale depending on the size of the structure. XL structures, such as a Keepstar or Sodio, giving the hardest challenge that has not yet been seen in-game yet. As of right now, this is still on Singularity. I didn't really find them too challenging. There were a lot of more nodes to bypass, but other than that, they weren't really too challenging. At least for me. After a successful hack, a window will appear with full information on the structure's current reinforcement, time, and day, as well as any queue changes and the time that those changes are planned to take effect. Unlike structures on Tranquility right now, where you must wait for the structure to go vulnerable before attacking the shields, you can now attack at any time and any day. There are no shield invulnerabilities. In regard to the attacking mechanics, they will remain mainly the same as they have been, also including a 15-minute repair timer and continuing with the existence of damage caps. This is currently what it's going to be like when you attack under the new system. So once you deploy your Citadel, you will go into an anchor vulnerable phase. Should it be shot to 0 HP, it will explode. If your anchor vulnerable completes, you will enter a 15-minute repair cycle, which once that completes, it'll start anchoring for 24 plus hours. This is where there is a significant change and that this little chart is not up to date as of right now. The fitting invulnerable window, which is a 5-minute window which gives you enough time to online and fit some modules, has been removed. This no longer exists, so it will go from anchoring plus 24 hours to online vulnerable without the fitting invulnerability in between. So once your Citadel has anchored, it'll enter a online invulnerable, hull HP only. Should that be shot to 0%, you will explode. Should it finish another 15-minute repair, it'll enter a shield vulnerable. Fitting is enabled if it is undamaged. Should it be damaged, and that's it, it'll enter a 15-minute repair. Once that is complete, it breaks all locks, and the shield goes back into vulnerable mode. Should the shield take damage and is shot to 0%, now if you have a service module online, it'll enter its first reinforcement timer. Until the reinforcement hour, minimum 24 hours away, plus or minus 2 hours. Once that is done, it'll enter its armor vulnerable phase. Should it somehow not take enough damage, it'll enter its 15-minute repair. Once that is complete, it will break all locks and it'll return to shield vulnerable. Should you have a armor module, a service module online, and after its first reinforcement enters its armor vulnerability and is shot to 0% HP for armor, it'll enter its final reinforcement. It'll then enter a reinforcement hour on the reinforcement day, minimum time determined by the system security status, once again plus or minus 2 hours. Once that is complete, it'll enter a hull vulnerable. Should it repair its 15-minute timer, it'll enter a break all targets phase and back to shield vulnerable. Should it be shot to 0% HP after the final vulnerable timer, it will explode. Keep in mind what I just said right there was the high power mode. Should you not have a online service module, this is entering into low power, meaning it completely skips over the armor phase like I said before in the video, which it'll then enter its reinforcement, once again hull, like before, until the reinforcement hour on the reinforcement day, minimum time determined by the system security status, plus or minus 2 hours. Should the hull be vulnerable, if it is shot to 0% HP, it will explode, or if it manages to complete 15 minutes, it will enter its shield vulnerable time. Structure combat is going to be seeing a pretty big overhaul, which it hasn't seen from the beginning of the launch of Citadels. The reason behind this is mainly to make structure bashing more interesting and more enjoyable. That being said, it is to focus on giving players more choices and abilities to display skill and have an effect on counterplay. One significant component of this combat overhaul is the addition of new burst, projectile, super weapons to Upwell structures. These powerful weapons are currently primarily available on super carriers and allow the operator to place an area of effect disruption bursts anywhere on the battlefield remotely. The disruption bursts are visible before they take effect, allowing opposing pilots to see them before and being able to evade them. The initial pass of the structure burst projectors includes AoE, target painters, weapon disruptors, energy neutralization, ECM jammers, sensor dampening, status webification, and warp disruption bubble effects. Upwell will also be gaining the ability to use a variant of the gravitational transportation field oscillator super weapons from Titans, or the GTFO. These super weapons grab large numbers of ships from a target area and launches them into another random spot in the same solar system. However, since the devblog for Upwell 2.0 CCP has been receiving lots of feedback about the gravitational transportation field oscillator superweapon, and has completely removed the weapon for the time being. So Citadels will not be gaining this on this pass. Stand-up fighters, there is a pretty big change to fighters also. Another major component of the combat rework is reimagining the structure fighters. Currently, Upwell structures may launch the same type of fighters used by carriers and super carriers, but these fighters do not receive any benefits from skills or ship bonuses. As a part of this release, Upwell will be releasing dedicated stand-up variants of every fighter used by Capsuleers. There are new fighters. These new fighters will be much more powerful than their standard variants, and will only be able to be launched by Upwell structures. Structure module rebalance. The largest change to modules in this release will be the addition of T2's stand-up modules. These will provide upgraded functionality to all major combat modules for Upwell structures and introduce numerous new fitting options. Entirely new module categories will also be brought up to Upwell structures, including capacitor power relays, capacitor batteries, and armor reinforcers. To go along with these new fitting options, we'll also be adjusting the balance around structure fitting stats and module stats to bring them more interesting gameplay to structure fitting. Expect CPU and power grid decisions to matter much more after this release, especially if you want to take those new T2 modules off the market. This also opens up new T2 module market for everyone who is into production. That is it for this video, guys. I hope this was pretty informative. There is some pretty big changes coming along to Citadels, and just making them more of a squishy target, to say the least. Till then, fly dangerous. Peace. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. You guys can check out my other previous videos by clicking the two thumbnails on screen right now. And if you've enjoyed this video and would like to see more, go ahead and click on that subscribe button. Fly dangerous. Peace.